Hello. So before I get into it, I just want to quickly let you know that during January I was doing 2 videos a week. I think from now it will just be the 1 video a week. I'm really sorry, but I'm just concentrating on some other projects. But if I ever vlog some random days and have extra videos to throw in, I will. But yeah, maybe just expect the 1 video a week. So at the start of the year, when I spoke about where I wanted to go with my channel, I spoke about how I wanted to do some kind of videos just chatting about my thoughts on things, some sort of motivational talks on how to manage feelings and things like that. Now, obviously I'm not qualified in any way to give advice on these things, but I would just talk about things which have worked for me and just kind of share my perspective on things. Just have a bit of a chat with you about certain topics with a more motivational feel to it. I guess I got told once I should be a motivational speaker and I'm rolling with it. I think a lot of the time I have thoughts on things which often has value, so it's good to have a place to share those thoughts. I want to talk today about comparison. I often find myself comparing myself to other people and it doesn't make me feel good, and it's definitely one of my biggest downfalls. It tends to spiral. If I feel like I'm in the mode of comparison, it will then spiral and it won't make me feel good, and that's just not the kind of energy I want in my life. So I thought it could be helpful or interesting for me to talk about how to manage those comparison feelings and what to do when comparison strikes. So the first thing I'm going to say about this is go and follow Lucy Sheridan. She is officially a comparison coach. I think the world's only comparison coach, so she talks a lot about this stuff and she is definitely far more educated on it than me, and she offers like one-to-one mentoring and things. So definitely follow her. She's also just really great. But I just want to talk about what to do when comparison strikes. I think especially in the industry which I want to work in, numbers are a thing and comparison is kind of standard because people get paid for having a following. So comparison is going to happen, and to some extent it needs to when you're a blogger or a YouTuber. To see kind of where things can go, you need to compare where other people are at, but you shouldn't compare it in a way which puts you down. So often I'll find myself scrolling through Instagram and I'll be admiring someone's feed and then I'll think, I wish I was that successful. And it's okay to wish you were that successful as somebody, because it can motivate you and it can cause action. It can cause you to do things. It can cause you to step into action. But there can be sometimes when you're looking at somebody's Instagram feed, or it might be something else that triggers it, maybe seeing somebody in person, and you just think, I'm not good enough, rather than thinking that person's doing amazing, I want to be doing that amazing, this is going to inspire me to work. It can make you think, I'm not good enough, and nobody wants to feel not good enough, obviously. So when you feel that, firstly I'm going to say turn off your phone. You don't need your phone on, it is not essential. I've brought a new kind of rule into my life lately where after 9 PM I don't look at my phone. I spend that time reading or painting or writing in my diary. I don't look at my phone. My phone stays face down. I might check it occasionally, but no scrolling after 9 PM tends to be a general rule. And actually with me, comparison tends to work in patterns on a day-to-day basis. I can look at Instagram and things in the morning and feel good, but in the evening it doesn't make me feel good. I don't know whether that's because I'm more tired or maybe I've not had a good day, but definitely in the morning when I'm feeling more energized and ready for the day, it's cause for feeling good, and in the evening it doesn't tend to help. So I don't look at my phone after 9 PM, but just turn off your phone for a while. Step away from it and live in the real world for a bit. You don't need to be on your phone, especially when it's not making you feel good. If you have an iPhone, you can use the screen time thing. You could set it so that you're not allowed on apps for a certain amount of time. So yeah, turn off your phone if you're feeling comparison. Another thing to do is just know what somebody has doesn't take away what you have or what you can do. There are infinite amounts of whatever it is you're after. Success. If somebody's really successful, that doesn't mean they're taking the success for themselves. More success can come your way. It doesn't mean that there is one lot of success and they're getting it. There are more things coming into play all the time. There are not a certain number of things and then when they have it, you can't have it. There's always more. Another thing to do when you're feeling comparison, think about it logically. Would you want this person not to have these things? Would you want this person to feel how you're feeling? Would you want them to lose their success? Would you want to replace them? Logically, no, because that wouldn't make sense. When you're feeling comparison, a lot of the time it's not that you want to take away from the other people, it's that you want things for yourself. Think about it logically, think about what you're really thinking. You're not thinking, although it might seem like it, you're not thinking, I don't want this person to have this because I want it. You're jealous because they have something which you would like in your life. So maybe use it as a tool to educate you. What is this telling you that you want and what do you need to work to because of this? Use the comparison as a way to figure out your own goals, to get in your mind straight what you want, to know what you're working towards, and to give you an aim. Your feelings are there to tell you something, they indicate something, they're not there to make you feel bad. You need to find a way to use these feelings to enhance your life, not to make you feel down. Another thing to do as well, because we often forget how far we've come, is think about how far we've come. Now sometimes I feel down about this YouTube channel. I've had it a long time and I've not got all that many subscribers. There are people who have had their channels less time than me and they're making a living from it. They have thousands and thousands more subscribers than me. And of course that does make me feel not great. It makes me feel like there's something wrong with me, that my hard work is not paying off. But if I think about how far I've come, if I think that I started from nothing, if I think that there was a point when I never thought I'd hit 100 subscribers, if I think about the first time my video got a comment on how happy I was, that there's been a journey. This actually is taken a lot to get to this, and that journey is something to be proud of, and I need to appreciate it, feel gratitude for what you do have. For example, I remember, like I said, the first time my video got a comment on, and I was so shocked that somebody had taken the time to write my video, and now people comment on my videos quite a lot, and it's kind of being grateful for that and appreciating that and seeing the journey rather than where you want to be, enjoying the journey, that matters. And that takes away from the comparison as well, because you're in for the ride then if you're thinking about the journey and not the end result, which you will eventually get to. But everyone has their own time scale. You don't work to somebody else's time scale. It's not how things are. Things are different for different people. Different people have different circumstances. Different people start in different places. So you need to be aware that your time scale might not fit other people's, but it's not supposed to. So if you're feeling comparison, if there is someone that always triggers it, kind of weigh it up. Maybe you need to unfollow them. If you don't want to unfollow them, don't torture yourself with it. Don't go onto their Instagram or their blog every day and feel bad about all the things you don't have. Instead, appreciate what you do have and know that good things will come to you. Know that you're not supposed to be going at the same speed as anybody else. Know how far you've come and how far you've got to go. You don't need to live up to anybody else's expectations. Everything you do is for you. Remember that. You're not the same as somebody else. There's no need to compare. You wouldn't compare the taste of a mushroom and a pepper because they're two different vegetables. You know? There's no need to compare. And you will, but when you do, try to channel that energy into something more positive. Try to channel it into something which is telling you what you want and where you want to be, and try to put it into hard work. Remember, you have a lot to be grateful for, and try to be grateful. Right, I don't know if this video made any sense, but there was just some points I wanted to make about comparison. So, like I said, go and follow Lucy Sheridan because she talks about this much more eloquently than I do. But I just wanted to say, everybody compares themselves. The person that is your comparison trigger is also somebody is also does compare themselves to somebody else. You might think they're the most successful person in the world, but they might see somebody else and feel exactly the same way. Also, know that you're probably someone's comparison trigger. There's probably somebody that looks to you and wants to be like you. So just think about it. At the end of the day, you do you, and it doesn't matter what anybody else does. Concentrate on yourself, put your energy into yourself, and good things will come your way. Right. Anyway, I hope this made sense in some way. I hope it was useful, and I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you very soon. Thank you very much for watching. Sending you good vibes. Bye.